going to let ACU start us off. So Lisa.
Hi everyone, I'm just starting my timer, so I have a bit of a gauge of time. I thought I only had 5 minutes, but I will try and keep to that and then be able to do some Q&A at the end. So my name's Lisa Wood. I'm the Refugee Program Officer at ACU. I've been at ACU only since November, so I'm relatively new to this and I haven't been to one of these presentations before. For those of you who don't know ACU, we actually have 8 campuses, 7 in Australia and 1 in Rome in Italy. We've got 35,000 students from approximately 80 different countries. And I guess in terms of Victoria, we've got 2 campuses, one in Melbourne, which is St Patrick's in Fitzroy, and another one in Ballarat. In Melbourne, primarily we do education, health sciences, some social work, psychology and sports sciences. Ballarat, again, is education. It's very big on health sciences, such as nursing, midwifery and paramedicine, as well as arts, theology, some business, commerce and law. Now, we at the moment have spaces for approximately 3 to 6 scholarships per year. And for the first time, we're actually offering it in 2026 to diploma and pathways programs as well, where we've only actually offered it to undergraduate programs in the past. You'll be able to find all of the visa categories on our website, on our scholarships page. They are listed here, but there's probably a good idea to go to the scholarships page, which will be on the 3rd slide here. You can have a look at. The most important thing is that you do need to apply and just be careful in your application, whether it's through VTAC or whether you're applying directly to the university, that you are applying as an international student. We've had a couple of problems with people ticking the wrong boxes when they're applying through VTAC and they come through as a domestic admission, and it just poses some problems and we don't have visibility of you until quite late in the process. So make sure you are very careful in that ticking the right box when you're coming through the tax. The university is much better at picking it up if you're coming through directly. We do have quite a substantial bursary. Well, obviously we have the fee waiver, so your full fees are waived for the whole of your degree while you are on your visa. If you do get permanent residency, you will have a Commonwealth supported place, so you are therefore eligible for your HELP and your HECS, and you do have to come off the scholarship. You're not eligible for that anymore, but otherwise if you don't have any changes in your status, you are fully covered for your whole degree. The bursary is quite substantial, $1,500 startup to help you get going at the very beginning. We do pay some of that before census just to help you on your way, and then we pay the rest of it in the first semester grant, and then we pay again after census in the second semester. Just to take a little bit of extra pressure off you, because obviously we want you to focus on your study to reach your academic best. Support. I think most universities have got quite a lot of support, transition programs, academic support, health and wellbeing support. But the best support you've got at ACU is me, because I'm actually there to help you all the way through, right from the beginning. If you've got any questions, my details are on one of these slides. I'm there to help you with the scholarship process, and throughout the whole time you're there, if you can't find something or need help, I'm the person that you've got direct contact to, whether it's by phone or email. So that's a big plus. If you'd like to go to the next slide, that would be great. And yeah, just quickly, we don't offer it for people who have a permanent resident visa. If you've applied for the 866, that is eligible, but if you've got permanent residency, you're not eligible for the scholarship. And that's what happens. Some people start off on a humanitarian visa, then they get their permanent residency, so they have to come off the scholarship, but they will be supported through the Commonwealth supported placement that way. So you don't have those international fees anymore. So our open period is going to be a little bit earlier this year. Typically, it's been a bit later. I'm trying to get it open longer to give people more opportunity. So 1st of October through to the 11th of January. The things you need to prepare for are a written statement. You need to get a letter of recommendation from one of your refugee agencies that you know, a community education partner, someone who knows you, who can sort of back you and give you some support outside of the university. Obviously, certified copies of all the right documentation as well is part of your application process. Sometimes we have interviews, sometimes we don't. It depends if we need to have a little bit more information about you. Scholarships office will send you an email in regards to the whether you've been accepted or not. And there, we also have a semester 2 intake, which we've just completed at the moment. And we've got a couple of more applicants coming through that. If you'd like to go to the next slide with some contact information. So I'm mindful I've gone 5 minutes. So that is my contact details there, the International at ACU. Anything to do with course enrolments, you can go to the international admissions. So that's anything to do with when you're actually applying, if you're having any struggles. Once you are at the university, you've got the student portal and the academic schools unit to help support you. Ask ACU is amazing. I ask them all the time because I'm still learning as I go along as well, and they will know who to direct any questions to. I've also put a bit of information up there about other scholarships, and talking about scholarships, don't feel obliged just to apply for one. Apply for lots, okay? There is no limit on how many scholarships you can apply for to get extra support along the way. And my top tip is to have a spreadsheet of information. And when you're applying, keep your statements and all the information that you're putting on your applications in one place, and you'll be able to cut and paste and use them in the future. Because once you've submitted your application, often that's gone. And if you remember that you did a really good application for the refugee scholarship, you want to be able to use some of that information perhaps later down the track for other scholarships. And check every year that you are at university. Don't just apply in your first year. Every single year there's going to be scholarships available to help support your academic journey. There's a QR code there that takes you directly to our website, and there's also a link there. Hope I covered that in sufficient time. Have I got any questions?
Feel free to unmute if you have a question, or you can pop it in the chat. I actually can't see the chat at the moment because I'm sharing screen. So if anyone else can, Lisa, if you do see any questions, feel free to read them out.
Yeah. I've had one pop up, so I answer that along the way. Maybe I covered everything off, that's why.
What we'll do, if there are any further questions and you'd like to pop it in the chat for Lisa, we can always follow it up afterwards. So please do put your questions through, even though I know Lisa needs to pop off to another breakout room soon. Put your questions in and we'll make sure that they do get answered for you. Thanks, Lee.
That's okay. I'm going to stay for one more and then I'm going to jump out.
And I'm going to hand to Karen. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Gendry. And I'd just like to highlight, I think Vic Uni were left off the agenda on the front page. So hopefully we've got Victoria Uni slides in there. I'm just making a note because I saw Julie in the room, Julie Madden. So now I'm just going to share with you a little bit about Deakin University and what we offer. And I just want to maybe touch on a couple of points that Lisa brought up, was about the application. So Deakin take VTAC as well as mid-career people into our Sanctuary Scholarship program. We offer 5 a year, and they're undergraduate or postgraduate. So sometimes we might offer 4 undergraduate, 1 postgraduate, 2 postgraduates, 3 undergraduates. So it really does depend on the applications that come in. So they are for master's degrees, not PhDs, master's degrees or undergraduate degrees. And you can see the category of visas that we've got there that we offer. And for those of you, and I've noticed just in the chat, there's a comment around PR. And if you've got PR, you're not eligible, or if you have citizenship, for the Sanctuary Scholarships. However, we do offer, for those who are permanent residents and citizens, we do offer equity scholarships. So please go to the Deakin website and take a look at our list of scholarships. We do have many equity scholarships. They are highly competitive, but they're certainly there and available for those of you who would like to apply to Deakin and to apply for those scholarships. So the 2 things you need to do is not just apply for the scholarship, you must also apply to the university. And then once you have applied to the university, I would suggest doing it at the same time, applying to the university and applying for the scholarship once the scholarships are open, because you will not be considered for a scholarship unless you apply and you get a place. So you need to get a place at the university in order to be considered for a scholarship. And if you apply for a scholarship and not apply to the university, of course, you won't be considered because you're not applying as a student. So you must do those two applications. Remember that we get students every year that miss one of those steps. So please apply for both. Now, its conditions are that you commence full-time. So full-time can be a full load, which at our university is 4 subjects, or it could be 3 subjects sometimes. And in extenuating circumstances, we can often accommodate students around if there's any other things going on in their life, like often happens with students, is that some students can take breaks or go down to 2 subjects for a semester or 2. The scholarship is a 100% fee waiver, so all your tuition fees are paid, and there is a bursary or a cash payment of $6,000 per year, and for each of those units. So it's $750 per credit point. So if you calculate that up, that's 8 credit points per year, and that totals 6,000. So if you only do 3 a semester, that will be reduced to $750 per subject. Can we just move to the next one, please, Gindri? Next slide. Thank you. Okay, the presenter's name, that's me. I forgot to complete this on every single slide. So you can apply through the Deakin Scholarship Portal. So that's the link there. And our office, we give you quite a bit of time because the applications open in September and they don't close until January. And then we have about 2 weeks to go through all the applications and make those offers. So the person to contact is Leanne Liu at Deakin, and she is the person in charge of the scholarships. She can also advise on the applications and what needs to be done, or you can contact Deakin Create. I'm the director of Deakin Create through that through our website, or send us an email. And I would also highly recommend you doing a search on Deakin Sanctuary Scholarships and clicking on that link, because that's where you'll find the Sanctuary Scholarships, which is for those who are seeking to have their fees paid and they're not permanent residents or citizens. So next slide, please. And thank you. So with the enrolment, we, and if you do require any English courses, Deakin University, or Julie, as it's known, do provide English courses. Those fees are covered if you are accepted into a place at Deakin University, and they can be in blocks of 5, 10, 15, 20 weeks. We also offer a pre-orientation transition program. We have a dedicated one-on-one senior case management or case manager, and they will be the person that you are in contact with your entire time at Deakin. So you get to tell your story, or as much of your story, once, and that person will be there. Their turnaround time in responding to you is usually 24 hours or less. Usually much less. They have a very, very, very light caseload, and they are incredibly supportive of all of our Sanctuary Scholarship students. We also offer our Sanctuary Scholarship students an academic mentor in their school or faculty, who will support you through your studies, and that is usually an academic, can be quite a senior academic, or it could be somebody who's very, very interested in just working with us and the Sanctuary Scholarship holders. So the other things that we do at Deakin, there are professional development opportunities, and Sally pointed out that we do have our centre runs careers workshops for students at Deakin University, and matching you with a mentee, matching you with a mentor from industry, so that we've got one of those programs currently running for students who are looking to transition out of university. And we also have quite a number of opportunities at the university for potential casual paid work in various roles. So I think that's all, but I'd just like to point out the the scholarships, sanctuary scholarships, and they're called various things at different universities, do have different opening and closing dates for each of the universities. So please, please remember, because Deakin, opens in September and closes in January, it does not mean that all the other universities have those same dates. They certainly don't. So you need to check at the individual universities to ensure that you've got your dates lined up. And remember, it's 2 applications. It is the scholarship application as well as the application to the university. So that's enough for me. Thank you. Any questions? No? Okay, I can't see any, Gindri, so I think we'll move on to Monash.
Thanks, Karen.
Yep.
Monash, have we got Jude and
Yes.
Asma ready? Perfect.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm sorry I've had to have the camera off. I just got home after 2 hours from campus to home in Parkville, so it was a bit of a nightmare. But I've been listening, and thank you everyone for your kind words as well. So yeah, we look forward to welcoming all applications to Monash University and hopefully seeing some of you with some offers at orientation next year. So our humanitarian scholarships are just for undergraduate studies. However, students that may not meet the requirements coming in can also come through our Monash College pathway through a diploma, and that's also funded with full international fees as well. So if you're not sure if you're going to make it, whether it's post VTAC or just on other accreditation that you already have, we can look at those options as well. We have up to 34 scholarships available. That depends on the faculties that you're going for, and it is a competitive selection process based on your prior studies. You don't really have to write a statement or anything like that. It's really very much based on the studies and how you've done so far. So please put in every effort you can if you're currently studying to try and meet those minimum academic requirements. We accept any visa category pretty much that's applying for a temporary or permanent protection. So they're all listed there, including Bridging Visa E and Bridging Visa A. If you've applied for a permanent protection visa. And so when you're applying, you will need to show your visa application status, and if you're on a bridging visa A or E, that you have applied for permanent protection. So you need to be either a commencing or a continuing student enrolled or hoping to enroll in an undergraduate degree or coming through the diploma pathway, and you would apply as an international student. So if you're applying directly to university because you're not in year 12, then you need to apply, do an application through the Monash application portal, and you can apply for a waiver code so you don't have to pay the application fee. I will talk about that on a subsequent slide. Generally, you need a minimum ATAR of 70, or for current students, a weighted average mark of 60, or an equivalent academic achievement. But as I said before, you may be eligible to come through the diploma pathway if you haven't quite gotten to that point. The scholarship includes a full international student course fee waiver. And like other universities, if you do become a permanent resident, a permanent humanitarian resident, you will get a CSP place. And if we don't have one available for you, you'll continue on the scholarship. And there's also a bursary, a living allowance of $6,000 per year over a full-time load, and that can be pro rata if you're going part-time, and that meets the minimum credit requirements of the course. So it's a certain amount of money per unit that you're doing each semester. Now, if we could go to the next slide, please. I think Asma's going to take it from here, but I'll pop in if I need to add anything.
Thank you. So just for our current year 12 students, we're so excited for you. Remember this, if you have completed your VTAC applications, you will be automatically considered for the scholarships. But make sure that you have completed correctly. And then also importantly, you must have a Monash course listed as your one of your course preferences in your VTech application. So as a current student, you must complete your VTech applications, and if you have applied for the Cs, you will be automatically considered for the humanitarian scholarships, and you must have a Monash course on the list. If you are not applying through VTech, and if you are a current Monash student, you must apply for your course and then also for the scholarship separately. Please remember that. And then offers are made a few rounds starting mid or late December. The accept offers will be within the 2 weeks time. So make sure that you have, if you have come across with any questions that you do, please do reach out to us or access Monash at monash.edu so we can look after you during that time. And then also, please record the important dates that are in these slides across different universities, some things that you might miss, but it's very crucial for your application. So please, for a VTech LE application closes 29th of September, C's application, C's stands for Special Entry Access Schemes, closes on 10th of October. And for other direct application, make sure that you check our websites directly. Once you are welcome to Monash University, if you have accepted your offers and your scholarship offers, we do have a holistic and ongoing support for our students. That includes 2 comprehensive pre-orientation programs alongside a weekly based touch base, and then also your faculty will have orientations and support for you depending on the course that you're studying at Monash. We have always available for our students. We do a warm referrals to external support services that are available to the students. And importantly, we have got a great programs that are available for the students across different campuses too. We provide graduation resources and external support services.
Next slide, sorry, Gindri. Yeah, we've just got a bit more there.
Perfect. So for today's presentation, I really encourage everyone to remember these 2 email addresses. Access Monash at monash.edu if you need any questions for your applications. And if you want to learn more about your opportunity, please do email us at iss@monash.edu. Thank you.
Thanks, Esma. I'd like to, what Lisa was saying about having that spreadsheet, and Karen as well, about all the deadlines and the links and the things that you have to do. It's really important to have that, and it'll make a big difference. And you can just check them off with each one as you apply. There were a couple of questions on the screen about are we offering scholarships for citizens and permanent visa holders? Yes, there's a big array of scholarships that you can apply for, including equity scholarships, which you may be eligible for. And so just Google Monash University and scholarships, and you'll see them all. There's like a scholarship finder with filters and everything. Yep. And if you get PR midway, again, you won't keep getting your course fees paid for, but with a Commonwealth supported place, your fees will be much less, and you can apply for HEX help or fee help to repay your course fees later on when you start earning quite a fair bit of money down the track. So that makes life a little bit easier. I think there was another question about the link to apply for the Monash Scholarship. Just go to, if you Google Monash University Humanitarian Scholarship, the link will be there when scholarships open around, I think it was late August, September.
Gindri, do we have another time to answer one extra question at this time?
We could do a quick one.
Yes. There are a couple of questions about direct entry to medicines. There is a pathway of direct entry to medicine at Monash University. Make sure that you read the website, apply for the scholarships, and if you're current students, make sure that you apply through your VTAC too. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Asma and Jude. If there are further questions, we'll make sure that, again, we pass them on and have them answered after the event. I am going to move on to Swinburne and hand over to Kiana.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Kiana. I'm one of the Equity Transition Officers at Swinburne University. I'm here on behalf of Swinburne University to just introduce you to the Welcome Scholarship that we offer. So the type of numbers offered at our university. So we have an we support undergraduate degrees and Unilink diplomas. What Unilink means is a pathway to help you get onto higher education degrees. So you do a 6 months course, and then that helps you to transition into a higher ed course. And we also cover for advanced diplomas. In terms of how many scholarships we offer each year, there are 4 scholarships offered annually with more subjects to funding. Visa categories accepted as other universities also mentioned in the presentation, as you can see on the screen. So Bridging E, which is 050, which is a popular one, and any temporary protection visas, Chev, and temporary humanitarian visas. I would like to also add, if students transfer across, as we know, a lot of resolution of statuses has been happening currently in asylum seeker and refugees processes. If the student does transfer to a permanent humanitarian visa or citizenship, which is fantastic, happy for all of them, hope that happens to everyone. You do not lose your spot for the Welcome Scholarship. It does transfer to a CSV, which translates to Commonwealth Support Place, which reduces your fees, and you do still are eligible for the 7,000 bursary that we provide. The conditions are that to be considered for the scholarship, you must have applied for a course, and you must have received an official offer from Swinburne University. And then you apply for the Welcome Scholarship. So there are 2 different applications, but you must have an offer first from us. And you'll be commencing full-time. Part-time is negotiable in some circumstances, depending on case to case and what the student is going through. And you do have to inform the university of any changes in your visa status, for example, transitioning from a Bridging E to a PR. It is 100% fee remission for course, so all the fees are covered, and the students will receive 7,500 per year living allowance, which is paid into 2 semesters. So you get half in one semester and the other half in the second semester. In terms of support that is available, obviously it's not always financial. We do support our students at Swinburne through ongoing guidance from our equity team. I'm one of the transition equity officers, so you are checking with our welcome scholars. So help with study skills, enrollment and transitioning into university life, and access to wellbeing services such as academic support and community connections. Okay, I'll just go to the next slide. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was looking at my screen instead of your screen. That was silly of me. So to apply, students need to first submit a course application, either via VTAC if they're current Year 12 students, or directly to Swinburne if they're not Year 12 students. So Year 12 students must also complete the equity scholarships application through VTAC, including a statement on how the scholarship will assist them with their studies, details of any community service or leadership experience, and provide evidence of financial hardship, along with supporting references. And non-Year 12 students, applicants must apply directly to Swinburne and then complete a separate Welcome Scholarship application, as I mentioned before, which requires a 300-word personal statement, proof of financial hardship statement, and a supporting reference. And successful applicants will be notified by Swinburne, myself and our team, and the scholarship team and the admissions team will be involved as well. And the students must formally accept their course offer and meet the scholarship conditions, and they must remain enrolled full-time, but we can discuss it for part-time for approved cases, and they must maintain satisfactory academic progress also. And so as mentioned in the previous slide also, scholars are supported by our team throughout their studies. So Swinburne also offers support services including career planning, academic skills development, and referrals to external support organisations. I also would like to add that I myself was a Welcome Scholar at Swinburne University, and I'm currently employed. And I would like to encourage anyone in this meeting to go for it, not only at Swinburne, but any other universities. And as my colleagues also mentioned before in their previous slides, that go for as many scholarships that you can. Don't worry about rejection. You'll get in and in one of them, and you have your chance to go for your dreams and, chase them as far as you can. And our equity team is here to support applicants every step of the way, from the from the course application to enrollment and throughout their studies. And please feel free to connect with me and my team directly if you'd like to know more about our role or how we support you at Swinburne. Always happy to chat and collaborate. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kiana. Are there any questions very quickly? We may have to move on. There is a question in the chat about opportunities to do master's degrees, but I think as that might be a general question, we might leave it for the end, unless Kiana, you'd like to answer that.
It's quite short. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're not offering any postgrad scholarships at Swinburne.
Thank you. If any of the other university reps want to answer that in the chat, please feel free. We may move on. Now, I do have to apologise because it does seem like we're missing the slides from Melbourne Uni. So I'm not sure if we do have a presenter here from Melbourne. I think it's meant to be Remy presenting. I think we might be missing Melbourne today. And this one is on me. I missed putting the Victoria Uni slides in. So Julie, I'm hoping you might be able to share your slides if you're all right. I'll stop sharing and let you share if that is okay. Sorry, I think you're on mute.
Can you I actually sent them to you, Ginger. Did you get them?
Okay. Let me have a quick look. Sorry, bear with me. Apologies, everyone. I think you forwarded a previous email which didn't actually have the attachment, but I think they might be in the folder and I have just missed putting them in. I did. Okay. Give me a minute. I have too many files open on my computer, so it's very slow. Maybe if there are any questions in the chat, if Karen, Jude, Athma, or Kiana wanted to answer anything while I get this open for us, please feel free.
Yeah, I've just been trying to reply to a few questions here and there. I'd sent an email earlier to Remy from University of Melbourne, and it says she's on leave. She's traveling for business, so I don't know if she might not be available. Sorry. According to that. But does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask?
Sorry, I would like to add that I was so mindful of time that I stressed and I forgot to mention the important dates. So our applications open on the 4th of August, 2025. Clearly, I'm a year behind, sorry about that. And the VTAC applications close on the 10th of October. And so yeah, please bear those dates in mind. I'm pretty sure that these dates and slides will be shared for you. But yeah, sorry.
Thanks, Kiana. It is the 10th of was it 10th of October for the Cs applications, and you really need to apply for Cs to then be eligible for those scholarships. But if you're going through VTAC, try and get your VTAC applications, like your course preferences, in by the 29th of September, because after that the application fee goes up quite substantially, and yeah, you sort of go a little bit out of pocket there. So yeah, try and make sure you got your course preferences in by then. And if you're not sure like how you're going with VTAC, have a chat with your careers counsellors or refugee support agencies, or even just, send us an email. We'll be able to help you out.
Thanks, everyone. Julie, can everyone see these slides now? Perfect. I'll hand over to you, Julie.
Great, thank you very much. So Victoria, I'm Julie Madden. I work as the Refugee and Asylum Seeker Liaison Coordinator at VU, and I've been in this role for about 8 years. So I've had a long experience with working with asylum seekers seeking place in scholarships. At VU, we have a sort of a unique model, which I'll go through with you. At the moment, our undergrad quota for 2026 is not set, but we accommodate as many students as possible through our program. We offer obviously TAFE study to advanced diploma, and we support students into supported places via the ASVET program, and there's no cap on places for TAFE students. In terms of the scholarship we offer for undergrad, it's available to those who've completed a pathway course at VU TAFE at Certificate 4 or diploma level, and then that they are then assisted through into the scholarship program by my office and nomination. With TAFE courses, they are aligned with ASVET and free TAFE, so that it's good to know that university diplomas, when checking for study at VU with the diplomas, just check if it's a university-aligned TAFE, diploma, or a TAFE-aligned diploma. That will make a difference in terms of fee support. In terms of the visa categories, similarly to other institutes, we follow ASVET's state government program through TAFE and into higher ed, so those visas apply. It's just worth knowing that if you're on a bridging visa, you will need to have an application for a protection visa to be eligible for TAFE study and higher education. Also, of course, need to be have work, obviously study rights, but work rights for any courses that involve a course placement. When students apply for TAFE, they apply as domestic students, and they're supported with that process. In terms of undergrad scholarships, they are for full-time study, and we don't include postgrad courses in that eligibility. And of course, it is full fee waiver for the duration of the course up to 4 years. We do have a SAF fee that higher ed students will pay once a year. And for TAFE students, all tuition is covered under ASVET, excluding material fees for courses to advanced diploma. The bursary is $5,000 per year, paid in 2 instalments in around census date and in September. And we have a range of different support services, which I'll go through in the next slide. Thank you, Jindra. In terms of the application, as I mentioned, because it's a direct application for internal students, students are usually known to me because they have studied either 6 months to 2 years in a TAFE study course at VU. So that's discussed with them when they're studying their interest in a scholarship. And then we assist them with the process of applying and nominating themselves through VU TAFE to the scholarships office. The documentation required is your evidence of the visa and a statement of interest and referees' statements if the students have those available. The applications open in November of this year for students who are seeking a scholarship. And with the process, it's fairly straightforward, again, because it's an internal one where they are nominated, they accept their scholarship offer by signing and returning their acceptance information online. They also obviously need to enrol in the course of interest and do that also online and accept the course offer. And students are notified by December of this year on their success. There's a link there to the website with information about our scholarship program and the email address to directly contact scholarships for questions, as well as my own email there if you had questions regarding the process of applying. Yeah, I think applications for TAFE courses are rolling, enrollments for a range of vocational courses and EAL courses, so you can check the website. With free TAFE now, there's an increased number of courses available due to demand, so we're offering courses often 3 or 4 to 5 intakes per year now, which makes it a lot easier for new students arriving and looking to start studying soon after they commence life in Australia. The scholarship dates will be available to students in October, and there'll be an information session around that time, so students can ask questions about what's required, and then we obviously will let students know closer to the date. Thank you. The last slide. And just in terms of the support we offer, in terms of support with the application, students in TAFE and higher ed are supported through my office and through the scholarships office. We work very closely together to ensure students are very highly supported. With the enrolment, the admissions team and scholarships work in tandem to ensure that process is smooth, because I understand it can be quite daunting with students with enrolling and subject selection, etc. We have a range of different learning supports with student mentors and learning hub, etc. And with regard to additional supports, we have a dedicated careers counselling service at VU for asylum seekers with one-on-one support for them. And we do a lot with our wellbeing, with being aware of the need for grants, particularly for TAFE students doing lengthy courses and placements, and the need for support whilst they're studying, and a range of academic supports along the way as well. So thank you very much. I look forward to any questions, and feel free to email me if you have any other things you'd like to know about VU. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Julie. If there are any questions at the moment, please feel free to unmute or pop them in the chat. And I'm just going to switch back to the other presentation. Unfortunately, I don't think we have anyone here on behalf of Federation Uni tonight, but as we said, these slide packs will be sent around to everyone, so you please do feel free to have a read of them after this. What I might do now is just open up the floor for any other questions, or if any of our presenters wanted to add anything else. We do have 5 minutes, so I think it'll be a good opportunity for some further questions. And apologies, RMIT as well. We don't have a presenter tonight, but these slides will be shared with you. Any questions? Is there anything in the chat that any of the presenters felt would be useful to answer to everyone now?
Somebody asked about whether they can study part-time on a scholarship. At Monash, for most courses, you can. There are a couple of ones where it's a little bit harder, like sometimes there can be issues with education or medicine because of placements and stuff like that. But for the most part, you can do it part-time, and the scholarship is you can have that on the scholarship. The other thing to look about is that if you're thinking about taking a gap year next year, just check whether or not your scholarships can be deferred when you apply for them.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. There are the RIA contacts up on the screen at the moment. So if you do have any follow-up questions after this and would like them shared with presenters or would like other contacts, please do feel free to email us. Our website is also up there. And as Sally said earlier, the scholarships table is a great resource to have a look at some of the scholarships that are available across the country. And finally, I think there is one more slide if you'd like to register for our student session with Jude, I think. Please do feel free to scan the QR code now, but this flyer will also be emailed to everyone after the session. So if you can't do it now, that's okay. We'll make sure you get access to it later. Thanks, everybody. You don't need to go back into the main room. Feel free to just leave when you're ready. Have a great night.